So this is going to be uploaded in a couple of parts. Sorry for that interruption. Now let me stop here. I apologize. I got interrupted there. Um, so just a few things. Now I did notice in really slowing this video down and examining it again. And before I go on, so again for me, George Bush had fulfilled a lot of that prophecy. Now Obama didn't come along until 2008, and it was actually and I really put a lot of my research down at that time because it got a bit overwhelming, but and Obama had not come around at that time, but as you can see here in the pet goat video, Obama, when they become each other, from a biblical standpoint, again, it does make a lot of sense because of the prophecies in the book of Daniel. So, there are quite a few things in this pet goat video that do line up with prophecy, in my understanding. Now, a couple of things I did want to point out that I did previously not realize. And let's see, I think it was around on the 20. Sorry, I went back too far. So the entire map, it actually does show. And so that was one thing that I had missed. Oh, I went all the way to a whole new video. Okay, so just want to point out a couple of things. So the snowflakes, you see, so again, I'm looking for this snow. I really believe that snow is involved here. Now I'm gonna freeze here for a second. Now this F equals negative F, I did find out that that was when I googled that has something to do with Newton, Sir Isaac Newton, and his, one of his theories, and this I think is the third theory of motion, I believe. Also the brain. You see this brain is split by this electricity, and then the dragon is over here licking the brain. Now I'm, again, just kind of observe that, and then as you can see here, we do have the whole map showing up. Okay, so now let's just keep going. Let me show you a couple of things that I did see here. Now I mentioned that they're in the classroom with the other kids. There's a scene where I think you will see their little heads. Okay, now I wanted to point out here, again, in who I believe is the Donald Trump character in the video, in the gold circle. The apple's going to drop right about here at the 5 o'clock mark. Let's take a look. It's going to roll through the gold. Trump is, something's going on. The apple rolls. It hits Obama. This is the C7 checkmate. What happens here is the passing of the torch back to Obama. This is going to be the event. Probably this geostorm, maybe. I'm still leaning toward this being snow. Even everything that's all around the buildings and everything, I just believe this is snow and not, it could be a nuclear, but I think it's snow. Also, the end of that electricity seems to be what's splitting that brain down in the classroom, possibly. Now you see the clock's on 12. And something I noticed here is I noticed that, at least from the perspective of this video, as you can see, the tsunami wave here, in which I believe that is a tsunami wave, it's a good bit taller than this here, and it's getting close to the height of the Twin Towers that are going down. Also, I noticed on the Statue of Liberty, it's underwater partially. When we get to that scene, we'll see that scene in a second. Now, okay, I'm going to keep going here right quick and freeze. Now, I want you all to see closely, because I've heard a couple of people, but as you can see, this is definitely an army. This is an army behind what I believe to be the Nipsey Hussle character here in the Pet Goat. But that's definitely an army. Again, this looks like snow to me. We've got some events going on and around Iran. There was a tanker. Now look, the Statue of Liberty is already underwater. The base is. The base is underwater. And it looks like this little egg, our Antichrist passes through that egg in a further scene. Now let me go on down. Now you can see here, this little kid is missing the brain, okay, when he stands up. And then I think, now let me freeze right here. Now you see the crescent here. I believe this is a mosque. Probably I'm thinking this is maybe Mecca or somewhere, in the Middle East. You've got an explosion. This looks like a bomb. And then you got these, and this may be the pits from the pits of hell that are prophesied in the book of Revelation. This dark smoke came up, and then all these creatures are being let loose. Okay, now that looks maybe like a nuclear going on right there. But so again, I'm not sure if this is snow. I think it's snow. I'm leaning towards snow from the snowflakes, and still definitely keeping an eye out for really bad weather. Now let me fast forward because I don't want to show you anything that I've already shown you before. Okay, now we got our Beyonce character. She's been quiet this week. And then we've got our hand helping Satan out of her penis prison. Okay, here's our wonderful hag, Satan herself. Now I was trying to find out if this prison of Satan's, because you see she's been marking time on the wall. And there's another scene, let's see, in 1 second, you'll see she's got this whole wall back behind her, just marked up with time. And as she gets this son and she gets aid out of this captivity, the blood disappears. Okay. Now, and this to me looks like a DNA strand. All right. And also, let's see if they show her anymore. I might have missed what I wanted to show y'all. Okay, we missed her right quick. Let me go back to Satan. See, there's something going on. Okay, look right here. Now, I apologize that this is a little graphic. Okay, but you see, I didn't mean to go way back there. Okay, as you know, everything happens quickly. Okay, now see here. This looks again like a penis. There seems to be some ejaculation. And remember, I believe that sweat on Obama was some type of ejaculation. And as you can see, you see the snake. Okay, do y'all see the snake head? I pointed this out in one of my last videos. You see the snake face, the serpent, rescuing his mistress of ceremony, Isis, Lilith, Satan, whatever we want to call this wicked witch. But, so there's some ejaculation here. But notice that the ejaculation is on the tower. Or at least it looks like it in a close-up. Okay? Is that? Because see, there it is. So, again, this is just, I think, part of the birthing process. But, it was something I had not previously observed. So she's going to get out. But, is she scared of getting out or what? I'm not sure about her little movements here. But she's getting out. Okay, and then let me just go on to the end. Was there anything else I needed to show you that I hadn't? Now, I've been keeping an eye on this dance because, just being observant, this really, not the breakdancing part, but, I've seen kind of like the way that he jumped out right there. It looked like some dancing that I had seen on Instagram, but Not sure. Now I'm still here with this sunrise. And then as you can see, it was still dark too. So it's hard to kind of predict the time. But let me just show y'all a couple more things I wanted to update. And because again, so we've got the really severe weather. Now this is severe weather from the UK, and as you can see, they've got tornadoes. So we've got just really bizarre weather. Look at the weather. Look at this. Look at this cloud here in the Ukraine 5 hours ago. Now this is from Wisconsin. So look at this rain in Wisconsin. We've got to be on high alert, everybody. We've got snow in California. We just had snow in New York yesterday. Torrential rain. Look, now this tornado is in the Ukraine. Hailstorm in Romania. Just bizarre weather. All kind of weird. Major flooding in Sicily. So globally right now, we have just got tremendous weather systems, and we've got the makings of a geostorm right here in the U.S. with snow. Now, let me go here to, now this was yesterday, and we had snow in New York yesterday, snow in the northeast, some kind of nor'easter, and still crazy weather. Now, California is going to get slammed with a snowstorm. 8 inches, very unusual toward the end of May. Record-breaking rainfall. Okay, now they're talking about the rain, but it's also supposed to get 8 inches of snow there. Okay, in Northern California today. We've also got record heat and record cold going on. Okay, so let's go to a couple of things in the NBA. So let me show you. We continue to have. Okay, so last night was Tuesday. No, last night was Wednesday. So let's look at Tuesday. We've got our 911. And really, we have 666 also. Okay, now that's what my eyes see. Last night. Nothing last night. So this was the Raptors versus the Bucks. Okay, nothing stood out in that score. Okay, let's go back to Tuesday. That was last night. Okay, Monday. No game Monday. Sunday. Okay, Sunday we had a 6. Okay, so here we had the 9/11. And I really could have got 6. I thought I could get 666 out of this, but again, the second 9/11. We can still get that 9/11. Somehow I think this was adding up to 666. But let's go to the day before that. That was Sunday's games. Saturday, nothing. Friday, we didn't have any game on Saturday? Okay, look. 9/11. However you slice it, we had 9/11 with this one. We could get 11. 9/11 or 9/11. Again, I may be reaching, but again, it looks like the possibility is there. Again, 9/11, 9/11, 9/11. 8 plus 1 plus 2 is 11. And also this was coming up to 666. 2, 4, 6, 6. 9. 9 is another 6. So, again, I could be reaching, but I'm just showing you there's been a prevalence of this 911 and the second 9/11. Okay, another thing. Now, I brought this up a couple of times, but I just want to bring this to you all's attention, and then I'm going to kind of wrap up this videos. So I mentioned this video that came out, and I went back to, because something had stuck out as strange to me, and I did show you all this. But anyway, so this right here, Jalen McKenzie. I thought I had him in the gematria already. Let me put that in for y'all because I don't have gematria. Sorry. Quickly, let me get to the gematria. The gematria calculator. Okay, so now the reason that for some reason, going back to Facebook, this had stood out to me like a week ago. And so when I put his name in there, Jalen McKenzie, and I showed you all the video that came up. But I'm going to show you again. So I just put him back in there. And then as you can see, 8 hours ago, Fox News reported on this story again. Okay? And, so what's strange to me, and I'm going to show y'all, but again, they just reported on this. They told a story to 14-year-old number 6 from St. Louis. This story is just really a red flag to me. Now, so let me go here to where I Googled Jalen. Now, what's going on right here is I put his name in Google, and I went all the way to the last page of Google because I wanted to see when did this young man, was supposedly some kind of famous, athlete or whatever. So I wanted to look and see when was there any news, and I really couldn't find any news about this kid at all. Prior, and see the name is a little different. It's Jalen McKenzie, okay? But the only person I could find prior to recently was a different Jalen McKenzie. And this Jalen McKenzie, this story ran in 2017. He's 6'5" and 307 pounds. And he was from Concord, California. And he was committed to USC. Okay? So outside of him, we don't have any. I did find what appeared to maybe be a posting April, I believe it was April 12th. But other than that, all the news articles ran around the same day regarding this kid. So, and as you can see, it was major news that picked it up, and they all picked it up around the same day. And that was what initially stood out to me as, why is this flooding my timeline? So let me show you all one more time, clicking on the CNN story that aired back on May 6th. And why I think this may be a significant situation. So as you can see, look at the coding here. United States of America next. Okay, is that what we're looking at here? And even the story was 9/11. Okay, you had the 8 plus 2, which was 9. You had the 1 plus 2. Somehow I was getting 9/11 out of this, or I was getting 666. Okay, I was getting 666. I got 666 and second 9/11. Okay, because we got 1 plus 2, that's 3 plus 3, that's 6. The 9 is an upside down 6, so we got 666 right there. And then we got the second 9, could be 9/11. But other things in the story kind of stood out, and let me show you.
1 and 4 seconds.
So now that's the video. So we got this picture, United States of America next is what I read that to be. And then look, boom. Okay, we got a boom, we got a 4, we got a 5 and a 4. That could be the 9. All right, then all throughout the story, 1140. Okay, there's our 11. We got the 4 plus the 5 was up above. Okay. So, you all take a look at it. But again, this was just the whole story stood out to me as programming. He had on Nassau shirt. His mother had the 13 here. We got a 6 there. So all their numbers. And then when I did the gematria on him, and so today, again, they brought the story back up again. So it's back in the news, in the major news, talking about a vigil being held for him. Okay, and it really just, to me, something is not right here. Now also, let me show y'all. Okay, now see they're doing the video now. Okay, you didn't see the numbers in the video. Let me replay that because that was what I thought was a little alarming there.
The Rose to Go Kids and Teens Memorial Day sale is on. Hurry in to make
let's
the
let
most
the commercial play while I show y'all the gematria.
Financing for 60 months.
JAYLONMCKENZIE. Jalen McKenzie.
And functional, like bunk beds, sleigh beds, trundle beds, and
now
more.
when I calculate the gematria for Jalen McKenzie, it got a little scary. Let me turn that off right here. Okay, so this is a 1-minute video. 14-year-old so-called phenomenon with no news articles ever written about him. He was in the 8th grade. Okay, he was supposed to be scholarship offered from Missouri, but they said he was committed to California. Okay. Struck and killed by a stray bullet. 15-year-old 3rd Street. Okay.
He wasn't bothering anybody. He had just had a wonderful day. He's not a kid to bother anybody. He wasn't a bothering kid. He was a humble kid with a beautiful smile, with a bright future that's gone too soon. And it takes a lot out of a family.
So again, that came back out again today, and okay, so let's look at some of the things that 3 strikes you're out, you never see me. Okay, now so here it had May 25th, but I also did see May 20th. Okay, it was some really very interesting gematria. Earthquake government map true, let's hope not. Followers of Lucifer. Now another thing was the 20th. This name had meant the 20th also. May 20, authority of the first beast. I think it, let me see. It was really some interesting gematria on here. Oops, kill in spring. Okay, now I mentioned about all of our goddess, and I'm really looking for something to really happen here in the spring. Okay, his name meant Barack Hussein Obama. 23, Alice in Wonderland. Jesus is coming, Eyes Wide Shut. Lots of references to this 23. Rosemary's Baby, that's the Antichrist, I believe. Battle of Armageddon, Manchurian Candidate. So this name was really, had a lot of creepy meanings. And again, one was May 20th, and that's Monday. Man of Sense revealed, September 2nd. So, just a lot of weird gematria in his name, and it's just been kind of weird. Now, let me show you a quick. That picture ran around about Trump, again, leading me to believe he is Alice in Wonderland. Now, again, 2 plus 7 is 9, 4 plus 7 is 11, the second 911. He posted this picture, Erlan posted this picture about a week or so ago. I just happened to capture it in my phone. Now this I wanted to point out, with this picture of Trump, King Me, he looks to be wearing the pet goat. The pet goat. Let me get to it. The pet goat little choker. See? It kind of looks something like what the pet goat had on in that picture. Those little blocks right there. But I had just observed that. Now here is the earthquake map that was potentially, what America's supposed to look like after all of this destruction occurs. Now I'm right here in what I think is Atlanta area. Looks like Savannah. Most of our coastlines are gone. Florida's a wipeout. If this is accurate, Lord, they got this dam about to blow here. Hoover Dam, they always show that as knocked out. So it looks like all of this stuff is gone. And a lot of these ceremonies have been held in places, and I can't help but wondering if they're having these things in rituals. I had some other pictures of Madonna with all her exes. Okay, now this is something I wanted to show you because this was right here in Atlanta, and I went down the street, Illumine. Okay, and you can't see it right that well, but they had a May 9th through the 12th. This was at the cemetery, at the Oakland Cemetery. They have a lot of satanic rituals and things in this cemetery, and I happened to pass by here the other day and observed that they were having a ceremony that went from the 9th through the 12th in the cemetery, and it was for this goddess here. You know, our same goddess that I've been talking about, our goddess who is Satan, who is a feminine deity, who is Satan. And so, you know, they were still celebrating this ritual here through May 12th. And I would imagine that this type of thing is probably going on all over the country, you know, not just here in Atlanta. But, you know, so I'm still on high alert with that. And then briefly here, I'm going to save this for my next video. The possibility, you know, just some discussion about the Bible, America being in biblical prophecy. So let me just give you one final update here with Snoop and what he's been up to, and a couple of things that I think were, again, kind of cryptic. So he posted Nipsey, this is about 2 hours ago, still keeping the whole Nipsey Hussle thing really, really going. Now this... he's advertising something here in New York for the 28th. Now, I actually got 666 out of this. June, that's 6. And then I got 911. I got the 9 plus the 2 was 11. And the 8 plus 2 plus 1 was, 8 plus 1 is 9. And 9 plus 2 was 11 in the 2. So the second 9, 11. And I also got 6. So I got 9 and 11 with the 10 plus the 2. And then down here I got 666. Okay, I got 666 coming up here with the blue. You know, we're looking at all the blue with the Nipsey Hussle. So this was a little cryptic to me. You know, maybe means nothing, but, you know, just showing that to you. Now, he's in Toronto tonight. We also had this. This was something else he posted. I got the 666 out of this, and I got the second 911 out of these. So here's our 9, our second 9, 1, 1, and 6, 6, upside down 6. So I got the 666 and the second 911 out of this posting. Again, I could be reaching. He posted this yesterday. So again, you know, keeping the Nipsey Hussle. And as you can see, let me just show y'all, you know, what I mean. You know, whenever anybody says something about Nipsey, that's our checkerboard. Now, it's not showing up that clearly on my desktop, but this is a checkerboard flag, you know, like what we have in the pet goat. And also, the Nipsey Hussle character is the Bin Laden character. His real name means pale horse. And he is, you know, that's the pale horse. If you look up the scripture for the pale horse, it's death and hell that follow him. And so you'll see on the scene in the pet goat, death and hell following behind that character. Now, there's one other post that Snoop made on the other day. And let me see, can I find it? He was in California, riding through California. And I mean, I could be mistaken. This one. Okay, so he was riding through California playing this sad song. It actually made me cry 2 times because I felt like this was a memory roll for him to roll by Hollywood Boulevard. You know, and again, cryptic to me, it made me cry. But is this his last, you know, goodbye to California? You know, just what I feel in my spirit as I observe what's come over me. Something's real sad has come over him. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to sign off now because the video got to 30 minutes and that's the second part. One other thing just to show you here is just, so on the 20th, you know, looked at the 20th. Didn't see anything really standing out on the days between today and the 20th. However, there was some conspiracy out there about, you know, an event happening on a Friday, you know, just as far as over the years of what I've heard. So I always look at Friday or think about, you know, because of that. Now, Jesus also said, the Sabbath. Pray that your flight be not on the Sabbath. So the Sabbath starts officially on Friday evening. But I did find a few things, and as I showed you on that gematria with this Jalen McKenzie, that had the 20th, but it also did have the 25th. And I saw someone else's posted. I think we have the Indy 500 is going to be on the 25th, and they did change some of the time, and that read like 911. I saw that on, I think Truth Be True, Logic Over Authority had posted something regarding that race and the date and the times changing. So, that's the 25th, but the 20th was also a date for him. And then we do have a full moon. That's September. Oh, goodness. Okay, so on the 17th, which is tomorrow, the moon will be at 98%, and it goes into 100% on the 18th and the 19th. And then if we look at our planetary hours, let me see right here. So again, as I showed y'all previously, now this chart never changes. When they struck the Twin Towers at 8, they struck in the 8 to 9 hour, it was Sun and Venus. And they struck the second tower in the 9 to 10. So I imagine that they'll strike during those hours again. And so this is so on Friday, we'll be in Sun at the 7th hour, which is around the 12 to 1 as far as daytime, and 1 to 2. But again, I'm feeling more like they would utilize, I'm looking for them to do something around the 5:59 or either the midnight. So on our Friday, we get back into the nighttime, the second hour, which is actually 6 to 7, 7 to 8. So in New York, 7 to 8, 8 to 9 is on this right here. Which if they do around 9 in Cali, that would give us midnight in New York. And then also we've got it at the 9th, 9 and 10 midnight hour, which is, so that's our 5 a.m., 6 a.m., I believe, hours, because this goes 12, so that's 6, 5, 4. So this is kind of like a 3 a.m. So they could, so again, it's hard to predict, but I would assume that they would do that on that sun and moon. So, keeping an eye on sun and moon on any day of the week. And also Sunday, the sun going into the moon for that 20th, because, Satan rules the moon, among other things. So, and then, of course, a lot of the sun worship. So, there's so much significance in trying to predict. But, this is, still on high alert with the snowstorm and all the geo and the tremendous weather that we're having. So, do trust God. I'm going to give you all a little bit more biblical lessons in my next video, and, kind of put the Bible a little bit more to the forefront than some of this other knowledge. But, just understand, and, just to let you all know, I've got a really extensive, a lot